change up my wardrobe a little bit for like these chats and interviews when it's Zoom because I find that I just become like zombie, like a floating head. If I wear like too much black, I'll just like morph into the background. So I try to change it up. Like today I've got the Unholy Three.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I dig that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't,
I got this one made because nobody's printing these like classic films, like at least my favorite moments or my favorite films. So I generally try to get them made.
that's cool. That's a great idea too. I think more of these shirt companies should look into doing some like awesome retro stuff like that. I think they would sell well.
Yeah, I would completely support like licensed I mean, these ones might a lot of the Lon Chaney senior films like they're getting close to public domain, but I don't mind supporting, like a license or whatever, but nobody is making them or it's not in women's sizes.
Mm,
Like I need a extra small or a small like I like a snug fit shirt, and so
right.
it's tough. So I just get them made. I have like a local um printer who does it all in-house. So it's like supporting somebody in the community too.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like Fright Rags. I have a ton of their stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
a
the
lot of stuff I
artist.
don't even wear anymore. Just because I buy so many shirts at one time just because of the artwork, and then I like if I lift too much weight, like for a certain amount of time, I can't fit in these fucking shirts anymore. I'm like, man, like it's kind of a
Yeah.
thing, like
Yes. Sometimes I buy like an extra large, like if I want it to be like a mini dress or something and like throw a leather jacket, like I'm gonna go perform and I just need something over my costume.
Mhm.
So I'll do that or like pajamas or something, but I like a snugger fit for like day to day generally, unless like I don't know, I'm in like yoga pants or something, like I'm just
Right.
like trying to cover up. But yeah, our friend and collaborator Yannick, who did the poster art for Bloody Bridget, works a lot with like Cavity Colors, I think, and some other. I always see his art, and I always like tag him and comment on it whenever he does. Like he has like I think like a Little Shop of Horrors one going on. He did a really great Phantom of the Lon Chaney's Phantom
Mhm.
kind of recently. I don't remember, but I need to pick that one up. It's like I feel like I need like a budget to like grab all of the like amazing graphic shirts.
Yeah, it does add up after a while. Like
I
during
know,
like
like, can they sponsor me? I would love to be sponsored, like, because I do so many of these podcasts where I like to kind of like, match it with a tea, like be on theme. That's kind of my favorite thing if I have it in house.
that would be really cool. I think either Cavity Colors or Fright Rag should get a hold of you, and like you should have your own shirt. I think that would be awesome too. Like,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
saying, yeah, as much as you support horror and all the stuff you do for horror, I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking into actually like starting my own podcast where I get to talk about like all of my favorite films, and then I was bouncing ideas off with my team and they were mentioning the whole like shirt, like wearing a shirt that's on theme. So that might be something that I
That's
might do.
cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been loving your actual videos for like it's bloody disgusting, right? Or
Oh, Dread
Dread
Central.
Central, I
Yeah.
get those confused, but yeah, those videos are awesome.
Yeah, thank you. They're so much fun. I love getting to like shine light and talk about my favorite films or my favorite creators. Like I just did a little project on Magic,
Mhm.
1978's Magic, which I are you familiar with that film?
I am. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember when I did see it, it was awesome, and it scared the shit out of me when I was a younger guy, you know.
Yeah, it's such a great rewatch. I loved it, and I've been rewatching it actually a few extra times because I love a good deep dive, and also like all the interviews and Anthony Hopkins, he did a bunch of his own research and training so that he could do the magic tricks himself and the card tricks. But he had some help with the dummy. So it's kind of like with I guess a good example would be like Bowie on the Labyrinth, where he had a magician do the juggling
Hmm.
of the spheres. And so in Magic, some of the scenes, Anthony Hopkins had a professional doing the eye movements and stuff, which is kind of cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I think the last time I seen Magic, I rented it from the library back when I was in my 20s, I think, because I did a lot of
Wild.
renting from the library back in the day. It had a lot of good stuff, but that was one of the films. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And then so I did that because Sam Raimi is planning on, well, he last year he announced he was going to produce, but now he's going to direct. So I'm so excited because the project, the film, the material feels very early Sam Raimi. And just with my the deep dive and research that I did, so the film is like pretty different from the original novel. And so
Hmm.
I'm kind of interested to see which way Sam goes. It's like, is it going to be a remake or a reimagining of the film or the novel? Because
Hmm.
there's like different, like in the novel, it's done through journal entries, like from Fats the Dummy's perspective.
Hmm.
And so there's like you kind of get a twist ending. You don't realize that that's happening.
Right.
And so there's a different kind of twist that happens, in the film where I think it's a little demonic.
That's cool. I'm glad he's helming this too. Like Sam Raimi's kind of making a comeback. And speaking of Sam Raimi, I just recently I got it on my Internet Movie Database thing, but just recently today I watched Sin Help, and I was like, this is fun. I was
Isn't that
surprised.
great?
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm going in with like a neutral kind of feelings on this one, but I know it was Sam Raimi, but I could definitely feel it was a Sam Raimi movie. It had that pace to it and stuff, and I'm like, I'm glad he's making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, yeah, I got to cover that. I did the junket and I got to interview Sam and then Rachel McAdams and her other co-star. And it was crazy. It was such an honor to meet him and I was so nervous, but I had fun and he was such a gentleman. He like got up and shook my hand and everything. And then Danny did the score to that, which obviously I'm
Oh,
so
that's
biased.
right.
It's like
Yeah.
a killer score.
No, that
I
was
thought it
that.
was a really fun film.
I did. I give it like a solid 8 out of 10, and that's saying something for it's kind of like a big budget, like fun, like summer film. You know what I mean? Like it has that feel to it, and I really dig the whole like being lost on an island, survivor type qualities. That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that we get some of his shaky cam work and there's got a little bit of a Evil Dead vibe with the boar,
Yeah,
and
that and
then
the
the
throw up scene.
hand.
Yeah, yeah, the hand in the throwing up scene. That was definitely got some evil vibe stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch the Easter eggs? Like, did you catch Bruce Campbell?
As like the dad, or what he was like the picture of the dad. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then in the parking lot is his classic, the Oldsmobile in the
That's right.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I recently got a new surround sound system. It was sometime this year. So this was a good test of the surround sound. Like it sounded really awesome and big and it's cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded killer in the theater when I watched it. And the whole like plane sequence, oh my God, that was like I was literally like screaming.
Yeah, that's one of my fears is being on a plane and something happening. Like it's like I think that's everybody's fear, but I
Of
really think,
course.
yeah, that's some scary shit.
Yeah, yeah. And then the stunts that Rachel did throughout that, like being submerged and everything. And just the comedy beats. I love Sam Raimi. He's so he's so like drenched in comedy. You don't sometimes people don't they just think of him as like gory and horror, but I see him like I love that he loves the Three Stooges. I love that it's like total slapstick.
Mhm.
I love all of that stuff because there were moments when, people were getting sucked out of the plane and stuff and she like hit somebody with a fork.
Yeah, and the kick in the teeth, and you see the teeth come out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love those kind of moments.
Yeah. Um, what other like films have you seen this year that's really stuck with you? Because for me, it's been a bit of a slow year, but I know there's some cool stuff coming out.
You think so for horror, or do you mean
Yeah,
just in general?
just in
Because
general,
I
or
feel
horror for
like
me, but I have a, my taste can vary, but for me, it's been a bit of a slow year so far. But I've seen things on the horizon look fucking awesome. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it's been a pretty good year for horror. We had Send Help, Danny's other film, the Dracula, which, was interesting. I
yeah, I
love
haven't seen that yet.
I love the lead actor, Caleb Jones. He's great. And then
Hmm.
I love the director, Luc Besson. And then I think that is probably one of my favorite recent scores from Danny. It's so good. I've been listening to it just like driving or, like doing like silly things like laundry or cleaning up the kitchen, like just these like tasks. But
Yeah.
I think it's so cinematic and it's so great. And I feel each song, I feel so inspired. It's like I want to get back into dancing and creating silly little video, like I like creating and it's like very inspirational, a really good soundtrack. I
Hmm.
love a good score.
Yeah, that
And I
definitely
thought like
helps.
back to Magic, Jerry Goldsmith, the like incredible score.
Yeah, from what I can remember, yes, very cool score. I want to
Oh yeah,
revisit
I know
this.
you haven't seen it recent. I'm like keep on talking about Magic because I've done like this massive deep dive, so it's like very in the forefront.
But it's cool you're bringing that back, and I'm sure a lot of people have forgotten about that film, and it's kind of a big film for its time.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like one of my passions that I love. You know this. I love to
Mhm.
talk about forgotten horror gems. I want to do a whole like series about talking about these films that are just kind of hidden in plain sight, or films that people, know about. Like let's say the classic Universal monsters. Yes, people know about Frankenstein's monster. They know about The Bride. They know about Dracula, but have they ever seen it? Generally not. Like it's hard for me to have a intelligent conversation with people, other than knowing like maybe like the most like typical part that's
Mhm.
like drenched in pop culture right now. But I think, I mean, for myself as a creator, I always tell other creators, even if you're not an actor, it's like like our daughter, she wants to be an animator, and so I'm exposing her to all of these different films just so that she gets the references because once you watch these films, you're gonna see references, out the door.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just from all different kinds of things you wouldn't even think of. But I think it's good to be exposed to all of these like classic cinema and, our masters of film and obviously of horror, So yeah, that's I'm getting off topic, but that's one of my favorite things to do is to expose people to, forgotten horror classics or genre. I mean, like I'm not just into horror stuff, but my favorites are like horror comedies or gateway horror or
Hmm.
definitely like practical effects driven horror are my favorites.
Yeah, same here. I've loved the practical effects stuff, and horror is my favorite genre. I mean, I do love film in general. Like, I love film, but horror is like, yeah, number one for me. And it's like I said,
Yeah.
it's just cool you like bringing attention to these films and stuff. And also, do you know if there's like a like cool like Blu-ray edition or 4K of Magic yet, or has anybody put that out?
I think I was looking around. I have like a DVD copy and I think there might be a Blu-ray out there. I don't have it, but
Mhm.
I feel like with Sam remaking it, they're probably going to end up like doing a, like a remake, like a reprint, a re-release.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure. I can't remember when I got mine. It might have been like 2010. I don't know. It's been a while. I've had it for a while. And then obviously there's like VHSs out there, but I don't know who. I like collecting them.
I do too. I do have a VHS player. I have a double deck, so it's really nice. But I'm still a bit afraid to throw my VHSs in there if it eats it or something. That would suck. But I do
Oh,
collect. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's a real thing that happens.
Yeah, but there's something magical about the VHS quality that I really love. You know what I mean? And it doesn't show so much where like it still looks real. It feels like your childhood again, you know?
Yeah, the nostalgia factor. I know. I feel like right now it's like all these people who appreciate, especially in our like horror community, like we like tangible things and repurchase the same movie over and over for
Yeah.
more like special features, or like sometimes if there's like a 4K, or like they up the res. But also there's something to be said, like like take Evil Dead for example, because they do so many different edits on it. It's like I
Mm.
like going to like the original kind of cut when you can find it.
Yeah.
Because there's different versions that, they're missing parts or they redid something.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I have like, let's see, maybe 10 different editions of Mandy on different formats. I have it on VHS, I have it on DVD, I have it
Wow.
on Blu-ray, like whatever they came out with. If it had like a cool artwork to it, I wanted to get it. I even have
It
some
was,
like rare
yeah.
stuff from Germany that my friend sent me over. He had this Mandy collection from Germany. It was like a special edition that came out with it, but only in Germany or Europe. And I have that too. He sent that to me. So it's
Oh,
really cool. So I
wow.
have a ton of different
Are you
films.
able to watch it? Like, do you have one of those like dual players
I
or
don't.
like
I don't have a
region
region
players?
free, no, and I'm
Oh
afraid to
man.
scratch it or anything like that. So I have my player copy, and then everything else is kind of like don't touch it. You know what I mean? It's just I want to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
crazy, but
Mandy was such a special film. I mean, it's for me, because I'm sensitive, it's so hard to watch. Like I had such an intense experience watching it for the first time that I've been scared to like revisit it. But when I watched it, I loved it.
yeah,
But it was so intense,
it is. Yeah, it's
Because I
very
couldn't
yeah.
believe that they brought us to some of those spots. And for so long, I was like, this is torture. I mean, I just covered what was it? The original Faces of Death for Dread Central, and that
Hmm.
was insane too, because I had never watched, because I'm not into like torture stuff, or
Same.
like
Yeah.
realistic. I don't even like those movies that go into too much. Like I like more of a supernatural. I like a demonic. I like I like monsters, I like haunted houses, I like that kind of stuff. I sometimes a little bit with serial killers, depending on who it is.
Hmm.
I'll dip my toe into that, but even that, it's like for me right now, it's like almost like an ethical thing. It's a little tough because then I think about the families,
Right. Right.
and like how would I feel if that, if I was in that position. I don't know if I would want a movie made about like the trauma that my family member experienced.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I like I like fantasy horror.
Hmm. No, I
I
totally
mean, who,
understand.
who knows if, with ghosts, I feel like there's probably an entity that's like hanging out in my house. It's 100 years old, so
Yeah, I'm sure you got a couple in there. And same with mine. I think mine was made in like the 50s or whatever, but it was different things before it became a house. It was a restaurant at one time.
oh, interesting.
It
And
was
you had a
some
basement, did you say?
it's not a basement, it's a den. It's only got like
Oh,
two
okay.
steps down into a den, and that's where I have my podcast stuff, my weightlifting stuff, all my music equipment. It's my area. My wife doesn't like the wood paneling down here. I love it. So I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, because it reminds me of the 90s. So I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
fun.
it is, but it was a lot of different things before it was a house. It's interesting. It's an interesting place. I don't ever hear
Not a
anything.
morgue though, right?
I don't think so. But I'm not
Okay.
100% sure. I don't want to look at all the history of it, but I know it was a lot of things.
I just did like a deep dive on Andre Overdahl and his filmography, and so I rewatched Jane Doe, the
Oh,
autopsy of Jane Doe,
yeah.
and so it's like those, or I'm working up the courage to revisit The Haunting in Connecticut with our daughter, because every time I have time to watch it, it's like we're about to eat, and
Mhm.
it like even just the opening sequence is kind of gross.
Yeah, that's a solid movie. You don't hear too much about The Hunting in Connecticut. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I
Yeah,
haven't watched it in a while, but my memory is I love it. So I want to, like, I'm saving to watch it with her. I like to, like if I haven't watched a horror film in a while and I feel like the need to, I try to like loop her in.
that's cool. Have you let her experience the taking of Deborah Logan? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I've
dude.
seen it, but
Oh,
she hasn't yet.
that's a
Yeah, we're
rough
like,
one, though.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, also there's like some films that like it's awkward. It's like awkward to watch with mom. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like I
yeah.
tried to be cool. I forgot actually we recently rewatched what was it? Christine.
Hmm.
And I forgot how like raunchy they are with the it was insane. I was like I completely because I just remember the car and I love Christine. I actually want one of those cars, you
Yeah.
know. Who doesn't? If
Right.
you don't, like, there's something wrong with you.
I agree.
But I love that whole thing of the car getting jealous. You know, it's a great film, but I just forgot how dirty the dialogue is, you know?
Yeah.
So that was a hard watch. I was like, I am so sorry, girly.
Yeah, that was back in the day, Stephen King. He was a bit more edgy. That was like the the Bachman type days, you know what I mean? So yeah, he was
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
it was an
edgy.
intense one. I
Uh
mean to watch with your daughter, you know.
yeah, no, I remember growing up, one of the films I went to the theaters with my parents was Bram Stoker's Dracula. And that was
Oh,
like, I'm like, this is awkward. You know what I mean? It was cool. I was at the theater watching Dracula, but it was awkward seeing it with my parents. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what an incredible film with Greg Cannon makeup, and we got Gary Oldman.
One of the
It's
best
such,
Draculas ever. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah. Who can compare?
you can. Yeah, I mean, Gary Oldman, anything he does, he is just awesome. He's one of the best actors. Like, he's going to go down in history as one of the best ever to do
He
it. You know?
is. I haven't seen a film where he's like in one of the top tier, you know, categories for actors. It's like watching like a John Goodman film when he's acting. He's never bad.
No,
No matter what film or TV show, his performances are solid and he hits it out of the park, you know?
I agreed. Even on the Righteous Gemstones, which is one of my favorite comedies, it's off now, but still, like
Yeah.
his part was awesome in there. But it was weird seeing him skinny now. Like I'm used to seeing John Goodman as a giant person, and it's like it's
Yeah,
strange.
I mean, I just want everybody healthy, so I'm
Oh
hoping
yeah,
that that
yeah.
was like a healthy, you know, like just in line with his health because he's got to be around forever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. I always joke that he should come out with a skincare line because I feel like he hasn't aged.
No,
You know, his skin is like perfect.
yeah, that's true. And yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I was recently on a podcast talking about arachnophobia a little bit. That was such a
Isn't
good
that a
like
great film?
yeah, you don't hear much about it anymore. And that was a huge film when it came out. It's got a big cast, big director and stuff. I think that one needs like a cool 4K treatment and you
Yeah,
know.
is that the one? Is it Bill Pullman? Is he in that one? Oh no, no, no. Who's the lead? Jeff Daniels?
Yes, Jeff
Yeah,
Daniels. Yeah, yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
get them. I have dyslexia, so sometimes I get people.
They're similar though, if you think about it. Like they even kind of look similar. So that's
Yeah, they could play brothers, right?
yeah. But yeah, that was such a good one. And if you're afraid of spiders, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of I love spiders. Actually, we don't kill, you know, like little creatures. I actually have two. It's a weird little tangent, but I have two spiders that I feed mealworms to in my kitchen. I have a kitchen window off on the side,
Uh-huh.
and they've like made it their own. And one of the spiders has been there for like 4 or 5 months. And
Wow.
so, like, you know, and it's doing its little job. Sometimes I'll find like little fruit flies in it. But most of the time, I'll like feed it. I'll spritz it with a little bit of like a really light mist of water because, like, you know, like with spiders, you don't want to drown them because their like breathing is on their abdomen.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I love spiders. I think they're so great. And this one I call well, no, before that. So I've had a couple spiders in the same spot. I don't know why they keep on going there, but so I'll put a mealworm down and then I'll have to call her by tapping on one of because I have plants there too on one of the plant stems and then she'll come down and she'll get the mealworm and then she'll cut a hole, but she's not very good at making webs. So it's like a whole thing because sometimes the mealworm will like fall through and I'm like
Hmm.
worried because I want her to eat.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
few down here in the den area too. I just keep them around. They're in the corners of my room down here. So yeah, they're harmless, and yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
cool.
I don't want her to die, but I'm kind of like in a macabre way. I'm looking forward to like getting like tidying up that area a little bit because like I don't want to like spray anything in that area, and I'm like respectful of her spider webs and stuff, but I'm like, I need to like dust over here now,
Yeah, just give her a little
like my
duster.
horror window with like real life spider webs everywhere. Which is
Yeah,
so pretty in the morning, like when I spritz it with a little bit of water. It's so, I mean, I find spider webs so gorgeous
yeah,
and so just like such pretty patterns.
that's really cool. Yeah, spiders are awesome, and yeah, don't kill them unless they're like brown recluses or black widows, and they're after you or something. But
Well,
so
I
they're
think
or get rid
also
of them.
like I don't think black widows are very like feel like they kind of keep to themselves. So it's like
That's true.
yeah, so maybe just catch and release them and let them
Yeah,
outside or something.
I like that idea.
I
Catch
love
and
daddy
release.
long legs
Oh, I
too.
was
This
scared of them as a kid, but yeah, they're awesome now. Like, yeah, I saw some at work not that long ago. They're on like a sign, and there's like thousands of them. I was like, "What is this?"
Oh,
Like, it looked
wow.
like a beard or something there. That was a little creepy. So I
I've
went to go
never
touch it, and
seen
they all
that.
started moving. Yeah, they grouped together, like they huddle up, and it
Oh, that's so
thousands. Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
We get them because we have a stair. So like our main part of the house is up a flight, and so
Mhm,
we have a stairwell, and so we get spiders in there, and so sometimes we'll have to like like clean up the area and then send them on their way, send them packing.
mhm,
But so we get a lot of like the daddy long legs and stuff. And sometimes we'll get actually it's funny, like a month or so ago, because it's like nesting season for the birds right now. And so we had a couple hummingbirds get trapped in our we catch and really they're fine,
yeah,
but they get trapped and then our cat watches through the window and it's like her favorite like TV show.
yeah.
But so the hummingbirds were stealing spider webs from our hallway. Isn't that cute?
That is,
Because they
yeah.
use spider webs for their nest.
That's really cool. Yeah, I wish we had hummingbirds over here. I haven't seen a hummingbird in a very long time, but they're awesome.
Oh, where are you, by the way? I'm
We're in
I'm in Hollywood.
yeah, in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And we
Yeah,
do
I'm
have
not.
hummingbirds. They're kind of a rarity, though. You don't see them that often anymore.
Oh, interesting. We have such a huge community all over, like not just in by like where we live, but the whole neighborhood has like different pockets of hummingbird, you know, like community, I don't know, families, I guess, but like hummingbirds, it's so funny because they're very territorial. And so like there'll be like an alpha male and then he'll keep because I feed the hummingbirds and then I help them if like sometimes they'll have too many babies. Like one year they had uh one of the nests had three babies, which is very unusual. Usually it's one or two, but they had three babies and not so we called them the like Three Stooges. And
Mhm.
so like in our on our property there's a driveway that we share with the neighbors. And so it was dangerous for them to like fledge down there. And so they kept it, it was like before they were ready. So we had to keep one or two of the hummingbirds in the house, like in a heated area. Um, because we do like, like we do we help them when they need it basically, and then they're fine. And then we end up seeing them again because like the families stick together,
Mhm.
before they eventually they'll go down south for the winter or whatever. But uh yeah. Anyways, I love hummingbirds.
That's cool. Switching topics on or we're talking about nostalgia stuff like older things. So, what are your thoughts on the new Tales from the Crypt? I mean, not the new Tales from the Crypt, but Tales from the Crypt being on Shutter now. I think it's fucking awesome, right?
It's so killer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I covered that. I did like a deep dive on that one too.
yeah.
And like, cause I like to do, so I'll do like a vertical video with Dread Central and then I'll do like a companion article where I get to, cause like, it's hard to fit all of my like major thoughts in like a video, right?
Hmm.
Because they're shorter. And so I get to, deep dive even deeper on the articles, which is great to have that outlet. And so, yeah. I love that it's available. It was tough for me because I have the when I was covering it was before it was released, so I had to go through my collection. I've got like the full collection of the seven seasons, and
Yeah.
so it was like I was hopping around to different episodes and stuff, picking my like top 10, which is
Yes.
hard. I ended up watching pretty much every single episode.
That's not a bad thing though. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, I know they don't make shows like that anymore.
Not really, no.
It was like for what it like I feel like even now it rivals the production value that we get on like shows right now,
Oh yeah.
with all of the effects, the practical effects, and then I love the wacky, the wacky storytelling, all of it, the morality of it, you know.
Yeah. That
I
was
think
so
it's
good.
great.
Such a blast from
Yeah.
the past too. I'm so glad it's out now and like the newer generation can check it out because it's so hard to it was hard to find back in the day, because especially with all the music rights stuff that was going on, that's why it couldn't be put out, earlier and all this other stuff. So I'm just glad it's out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they actually got it out because of everything, all of the, business side of it,
Mhm.
dealing with that. But yeah, that it's so killer, and I'm glad. Hopefully, that'll be like a resurgence, and I would love to get another, as a fan, because I love Tales from the Crypt, it would be killer if we got another season. But my only thing is that I would want them to do it in the way it was.
Yes.
Like not trying to re-up it. It's got to be practical. It's got to be our like, I want to see like James Wan do one, like we've got to
Mhm.
get like the Masters of Horror. And I want to get like when I was doing my research, it's like, I don't think Joe Dante ever did one, like we got to get
Yeah.
him doing one. And then I don't know if John Landis did. I don't think so. We got to get him
Yeah, that'd be
but
cool.
but our friend Mick Garris did one. He did Whirlpool, which it was a fun one. I don't know if you're familiar, but it was fun to get to like talk about our friends who create, and
Yeah.
who did like classic episodes and stuff.
No, that's way cool. And I also saw a post from Mick the other day that I know he's been working on something kind of big and I think it's finally progressing. So I can't wait to see what he's coming up with because yeah, we need more Mick Garris anything.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, and he's the best. He's such a nice person and a great supporter. He's
Yes,
helped me out a lot, like with connecting with people and stuff. He's wonderful.
that's really cool. And I do still
And he's
miss
so
his podcast.
talented.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he can write, he can direct, he does it all.
I know.
Podcaster.
I always bug him about bringing the podcast back because that was my favorite. I would literally look forward to, I think it was like every Wednesday he would like release a new podcast. And
Mhm.
the thing is like with these podcasts, I love it when it's like an intelligent discussion and then asking those like insightful questions. And he always had the best questions and the best like conversations with, like our favorite like creators and
Mhm.
masters of horror, where you wouldn't really get these kind of like off the cuff discussions, It's like
Right.
friends talking with each other.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about it. That was a big inspiration for me starting my podcast. It's like you don't have to
Yeah.
have like 20 questions and all that crap. And to me, that sounds so unnatural. You just want to kind of go with the flow, have a general idea where you want it to go, but don't like question after question. That's like I like how Mick does it. And that was a big, inspiration in how I do my podcast. It's a
Yeah, killer.
conversation. That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. And that's what I like to listen to anyway. So I just want to try to. Yeah. So
Yeah,
thanks, Mick.
it's always fun coming on your podcast. And it feels like friends just chatting like their
Yeah.
favorite horror stuff or projects or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that entertains me, and I'm like, I want to do the same for entertain other people. So it works out pretty good. But yeah, I'm really happy about the Tales from the Crypt being up, and that would be cool if they did some new ones, but it had to be done just right because I would a bit afraid, they could ruin it, and that would be horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like for me as a fan, it's like it's having the studios know their audience and it's while it's like obviously you want to get new audience people, but it's like if you're gonna choose like an IP that's already around and that has like a huge following, there's a bit of a like give and pull, like you've got to respect the loyal audience,
Hmm.
you know? Or just make something that's different, like completely different. I mean, for me, what Tales is about, it's about those, wacky stories. It's about, it's a bit campy, which I love. It's
Hmm.
practical effects. It's, and you can't do it without the Crypt Keeper himself,
Oh, right.
like,
Yeah.
and it's the practical set, the tangible sets that he's in. Like, I feel like I could smell, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like where he is, you know? Like all of that is important. They're all important components that made the show have legs and last as long and build such a loyal audience.
I agree. And I will say my favorite, I love the TV series. Like, there's hardly an episode I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the very last season, when they went to like, the England stuff or whatever. It's okay, but it's such a drastic turn, and I understand why. But I will say my favorite Telton Crypt thing is Demon Knight, the movie they did.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
fucking love Demon Knight. It's so good.
It's so great.
Yeah, that one still holds up today too. Like, Demon Knight is awesome.
Yeah, a killer film. And then, a really jarring episode was did you ever see, oh my gosh, is it called You Murder, the Humphrey Bogart one? Do you
Oh
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, I do.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. That
That
was
was
cool.
gnarly.
Yeah, yeah. And the most recent one I watched, though, doing my revisit, was the one with Demi Moore. It's the one
Mm.
with the fortune teller. I'm like, God, I'm like, this don't make stuff like this anymore. It's so good.
Yeah, that's the thing about like revisiting. It's like, look what they took from us, these stories and stuff. I feel like a lot of things are like very generic right now and, to like appease mass audience. And it's like, that's not what we want. Like you don't have to dumb things down. That's another, I mean, not to make everything about magic, but with magic, like the film, it it didn't dumb down the plots or the story or give us a lot of like, background. We found out a lot about like the main character in like 5 seconds, about his backstory and stuff. And it's like, I feel like the audience wants to be challenged and wants to have good storytelling.
Yeah,
And if they don't, it's like when you're dealing with a kid, it's like you have to teach them what they want. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, another good series that's out right now that kind of challenges people is From. I really like From. Are you following that?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
current on
Oh,
the current season because I'm debating if I want to go back and rewatch because they had such a big like break in
yeah.
between because they left us on a cliffhanger
Hmm.
and I was so angry because like it's been a couple years or at least for me because I didn't watch it when it first because nobody has been talking about it, in the horror community. I didn't hear anything and so I just stumbled upon it.
Hmm.
And so Rick and I, my husband Richard, we binged the whole thing, right? And
Hmm.
so that was a while ago. And so now I'm like thinking like, do I want to binge it again? Like,
I would. I mean, just to get you caught up on things. There's so many twists and
or at
turns.
least
Like,
maybe like the previous last season.
yeah, I would do that before you get into this new season, because the new season is wild. Like, yeah, I mean, it's all the seasons are crazy. This one's extra crazy right now. Like, it's going in a direction I have no idea. I don't know where it's going. I have no idea.
Yeah, I love it. I think it was so like I mean, I've seen versions of this, you get trapped in like, a town or whatever, but I think it's really unique. I like the lead actors. I'm not into all of the subplots, like they kind of get a little boring for me and I would rather focus back on the lead actor
Hmm.
and, his trials and everything. But I also like I'm blanking on the name, but the gentleman who was stuck when he was a kid. I think he is a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his
Um,
name either off the top of my head, but
yeah,
yeah, he's great.
he's so great and nuanced and I would like to see more of him too, like a more focal point on him, which we get some of that. It's peppered in. Obviously, it's, a series formatting, so you don't get everything you want like in a film.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. Have you been watching another little sneaky kind of horror show that's happening right now, Widow's Bay? Have you been watching
I
that?
was about to ask you about that. I'm going to start it this weekend. I had a friend who was on the podcast recently. She worked on the show and she was telling me
She
about
did.
it.
What did
She
she
did
do?
she did something like the costume design and stuff, I believe. She worked with the
Amazing.
yeah,
How lucky.
and she was telling me about it. And then I started hearing about it like it was on Colors of the Dark podcast. They both recommended it. Beck and them, they recommended this one big time. And then I've been hearing a bunch of nothing but good things about it. So I'm gonna start it up this weekend actually.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but I think you'll like it.
Yeah, it's like it's got a bit of a Stephen King touch to it, correct? Like that's what it looks from the trailer, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and there's some comedy undertones which are interesting. I mean, I literally like a couple times I screamed out loud or laughed out loud, which is like it takes a lot for me.
Hmm.
But they're doing a really good job, and the
That's
effects are really great.
that's good to know. Practical, I assume.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna start that. We'll say Saturday, either tonight or tomorrow. So I'll probably end up binging all of it. Me and my wife tomorrow. We'll see, because I know they're like 25-minute episodes, so pretty easy to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like because it's happening live, so it's like having to wait every Wednesday. Because at first I thought I was like, oh, it's coming on Saturdays or Sundays, and then I go look and it's like, oh no, okay, great. Now I have to wait until Wednesday.
It's kind of a good thing though. It's a throwback to what we had to deal with back when we were younger. Wait, and
Yeah,
it's kind of a cool payoff,
the
and you remember things
anticipation
better.
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes if I binge a whole series over a weekend, I don't even know what the hell happened. I'm like, what was this? Like Netflix loves to drop a whole season. I'm like, that's a little much.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy both. I don't know. Because
Yeah,
I I like having, like when they leave you on a cliffhanger, I like being able to see what happens because sometimes when I'm waiting in between, then I forget. But it's nice when they have the little recap too. I like it also when they do previews for the next episode, but I've noticed that lately shows aren't doing that, which is kind of annoying.
yeah. I don't know why that is, but they're not doing that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
true.
like it. Like who did a good one? It was like maybe Westworld used to do really good
Mm,
previews for the next episode, because then that gets you like in the mood, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Season 1 of Westworld was so fucking good. Oh my God.
So good.
I can't
I
say
know.
it's
I
much for
That's
the
one
other
of those.
seasons, but man, season 1, fuck.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree with that. That's another one where I want to like kind of rewatch it because I remember just being like totally blown away
Hmm.
by all of it. Like really stellar acting and then a really great script and score and then the effects as well.
Yeah, that was a really good one. And we're not that far away from having a real Westworld. I mean, I could see that happen in the next 20 years, if
If
we don't
not
blow ourselves
sooner.
up. Yeah, if we're not sooner, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen some of those like animatronics that are
I,
at Disneyland right now? I'm like, wait, is that a real person? They're so fluid.
yeah, it's getting pretty scary and stuff with the animatronics and the robotics and everything. Like, yeah, that would be interesting, you know.
Yeah, I like my animatronics on film, on the screen.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to happen like that episode of The Simpsons where they're at Itchy and Scratchy Land and the robots start going insane and killing everybody. That would totally happen too. Well, I know they'd probably like go off kilter and do crazy stuff because they're robots. They're gonna be like Terminators one day, probably. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I know. Every time there's like a new update with like technology, I'm like, I've already seen this movie. It doesn't end well.
No, and we're heading towards the Terminator situation. But like I said, it's gonna be a little ways off. Maybe not in our time, but yeah, yeah, that'd be crazy. Another show I really missed too, that's gone now because I don't know if they were canceled or they just ended it, but Evil. You remember Evil?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
miss that
I
show
remember
so
Evil.
much.
That was great.
It was like a great blend of like dark horror with comedy. There's a lot of comedy stuff
Yeah,
on there,
there
but it
was
was so dark too.
yeah, one of our friends who did visual effects on Bloody Bridget, and he's just like a master visual effects artist. Kevin Kuchever, he did some visual effects on Evil, and I think his wife Kathy, I think they she's an animator, and she like worked on all kinds of things like The Little Mermaid, Fern Gully. They worked on together, and he's worked on like gosh. RoboCop, all kinds of stuff, Gremlins, I believe. But
Hmm.
anyway, so they worked on something together for Evil. She did some kind of animation. There's like an animation segment because I remember when we took our daughter over to their house. They have this wonderful house close to us, and they were so kind because like our daughter Audrey, she's about to graduate from high school, so now we're like starting to do like visits on studio lots, and like I want to expose her to great artists because she wants to be an animator. So I'm trying to
Right.
because I'm an actor, and if she was acting, I would take her to visit, actors and stuff. But I want to learn also. So it's like I'm talking to all of our animation friends and trying to get advice of like, how do I help her get into the industry and stuff, because it's
Hmm.
different from an actor, right?
Right.
But and luckily with Rick, a lot of major animators and like agents and showrunners are huge fans of Forbidden Zone, my husband's film, and
Right.
of him. And so it's great because they want to like they'll help, like give Audrey advice and stuff. But anyway, so we went and we visited Kathy and Kevin at their place, and they were showing us some work that they did on Evil. So that's how
Mm.
that wraps back.
That's
A
cool. Yeah.
long explanation.
That's a cool explanation. And also, talking about Forbidden Zone, is there like talks of a second one, a sequel? I've been seeing some posts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
that'd be
Yeah, the
awesome.
script's been ready for a bit. In Hollywood, it's like people don't understand, it's like you have meetings and stuff and things are constantly moving, and then like people who think they can help, it's like they don't just say no, it's like it just slowly, turns into something else. It's just so there's been opportunities and there's been a lot of, yes, there is a sequel. So scripts written and we're doing some different like tests right now. And Rick's been posting different things. And then, I mean, I don't know how much I'm supposed to say, but like he's got ideas for like a really interesting animation series that's Forbidden Zone. So I can't wait.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the original film. So yeah, yeah. We need something weird and crazy like that now. You know what I mean? Like that, we need that, I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so too.
yeah, that's awesome. You're also working on some other new stuff as well, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I just starred in a horror film, Ghost Executioners 3, and I'm not sure when that comes out, but so we just filmed that, and I just accepted another film, like a horror film called Tie Dye,
Hmm.
where it's like a futuristic kind of horror story about like ties that like kill people, I guess, like
Okay.
neckties and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was just sent the script. Our friend Chris wanted me for a part, so I haven't even read the script yet. But I say yes, if it's a talented friend offering, I love supporting friends.
yeah. No, that's really
So.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have also we have some cool like live events. So June 6th, we're part of indie horror like film festival called Shaka Go Go.
Hmm.
And so we've got two screenings. I'm working with Brian Usna and for his uh Bride of Reanimator, that we're doing a screening event for that. So I'm helping to
Nice.
produce and create a new bloody burlesque to, and I'm gonna like he's gonna be my victim. So
Nice.
it's gonna be like the bride's revenge, which is
Mhm.
cool because I like to do like multimedia performances. So there's like gruesome, cool images happening behind me, and then my music, and then I do like practical effects rigging like blood and stuff, and I'll pull out a heart and maybe some intestines. We'll see.
That's be awesome, especially working with Brian and stuff too. Like, I'm such a fan of his films and everything, and he has such a unique vision and stuff. Like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an honor. I mean, this is creating my Bloody Burlesque pre-shows and these wildly immersive events, screening events that I like to produce and create and come up with. It's just been such an honor to now have these masters of horror like Brian Usna reaching out and asking me to personally come up with a number to open up his screening of Bride of Reanimator. And I did this last year with him for what was it? Return of the Living Dead 3. And I, killed him as Julie. So
Hmm.
it's wild to be able to do this. And I want to do this with more directors and creators and stuff, and with more of my favorite horror films. Like I've done this with the Jodorowsky family for Sante Sangre, where I was flown down to Mexico City to come up with a bloody burlesque number for. It was like their 35th anniversary release, and so the cast and the original cast and crew were down there, and so I got to perform as Mother in front of
Oh,
Mother
yeah.
and the original Alma. Like I do fun stuff where like I change characters mid for that one, and I do it on point shoes because I'm classically trained in ballet. Um, and then obviously the stuff that I do with Rick, we've been touring with Bloody Bridget, and we've got so with Shaka Go-Go Film Festival, he's got a Forbidden Zone screening right after Bride of Reanimator, and
Nice.
so we'll be doing like a wild pre-show for that too. He's getting his band together, and I'll be doing a little burlesque. Um, thing
Hmm.
as one of the characters, Princess Polly. So it's a really fun time. And I love this because I come from the stage. I was raised literally on the stage doing theater and ballet and I'm a classical cellist. So this is all home for me. And I
Right.
love creating these like kind of performances where it's like, it's the shock and the awe. And I feel like well, some people are doing like having, Q&As and stuff before film, but I'm like literally like like the creator of the film or the director is my victim. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's so different, and I'm doing my like practical effects gags in the moment, and it's a lot of sleight of hand. Like with last year's performance, I literally ripped Brian's scalp off and head and ate his brains, and that's
Yeah.
hard to do in front of a live audience,
Right. Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
it work and to get all of those jello brains, and then to disembowel him and rip out his heart too. It's all, very calculated, and I put in a lot of work into these things. It's a lot to produce them. I'm working with the theaters and
Hmm.
the film festivals and all of that stuff. But I love it. It's one of the ways that I like to honor my favorite films and
Yeah.
favorite creators. It's, giving them these like visceral performances, And I love like a William Castle. Like I love like those shocking things that he would do inside the theater. And you know, we're I feel like with filmmakers, it's like we're competing with streaming. We gotta find a way to get people into the theater again. And I feel like I'm making waves in the like horror community and enough to be asked to do these kind of things,
Yeah.
and to produce these kind of screening events, and I want to do more. So it's super fun for me.
That is cool. Yeah. Is anybody going to record this? I'm sure they will, like the
I always
performance,
try to
anyways.
get, yeah, I always try to get something. I mean, I don't know. I have to see if any friends want to, record it and then maybe come up with a little sizzle or something like that. Because I find that like a lot of times, like I don't always get footage back from film fest. Like it's hard, like
Yeah.
in the last couple of years, I've done like maybe like 40, 50 film festivals, so it's
Mhm.
it's hard to keep track of stuff too. But
Right.
I assume at some point things will come out and hopefully they're good.
That'd be
You
cool. So it
know.
sounds epic as hell. I'm like, yeah, it has to be recorded.
Yeah, yeah. At least I try to get like some photos of it. Like I'll probably start reposting some older photos from like last year or something. Or I've got to get my like costume. I'm right in the kind of thick of it right now where I'm like, oh, holy fuck, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like it's like what the hell did I get myself into? But that's
Right.
part of my process. It's like, okay, we've done this. We got to do our best, and it's fun. Like I love these films. I'm so inspired. Like I already am, when I watch them, I'm already imagining performing, you know? Because like at the end of the day, I want to be in those films. I wish I was in those films.
Yeah.
I want to be in all the horror films, let's say.
Well, I definitely think you're on your way, like creating a legacy. You're doing great. Like all the films you're in, especially doing the stuff now with the horror stuff and the videos and everything is really awesome. And yeah, I could see you being like a next like horror host, like a Joe Bob figure, like Elvira. That'd be really cool too. I
Yeah,
could
thank you.
definitely see you
Yeah,
on that route.
we're actually we're in the thick of creating like a Bloody Bridget horror hostess show that's kind of a mix of an Elvira, and then almost like a Crypt Keeper, almost, and then like a little bit of goofy zaniness of like Pee-wee's Playhouse, like because
Mm.
I like the practical sets, and like I wouldn't mind like a little, sidekick, like a puppet sidekick or something like that, like just like I love those shows growing up,
Mhm.
and I would love to do something in that realm. I mean, the thing for me though is that you know how Elvira kind of like to show like quote unquote crappier films and then she liked to crap on them. Like I want to show films that I love. I want to
Yeah.
have guests, like I want to have like Joe Dante or Brian Usna or like I want to have these people, as guests talking about maybe their favorite film and
Mhm.
then I'll rip their heart out, at the
Yeah,
end.
that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah. That would be great. So many people would tune into that because that's something we're lacking because we're losing Joe Bob after his like last like season special. I don't
I'm
know where he's going, and
I'm
that's a big blow.
assuming he's like, it would be such a loss if he was not going to be doing anything. But yeah, I mean, I feel like all of these other like quote unquote like horror host or hostess, they're all a bit different from like what I want to do. Just like I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes because I'm a fan of his show. I like all of the support he gives to like filmmakers and creators and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, you're on the right path because yeah, I want to see that. I don't want to see a hostess or a host like making fun of movies. We got shows like that. I like to see like good movies, giving facts about these movies and like the passion for these like cool movies.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't have to love a film 100%. Like I have minor quips with films that I love and like it's fine, but
Yeah,
I don't like especially indie artists, or like B horror movies or whatever you want to like it is a miracle that any project gets filmed
right.
and finished, And so like even if it doesn't resonate with you, why are we crapping on any artists, And art is like it's it's so subjective,
Mhm.
So it's like I try myself, well, because I have a lot of strong opinions, so I like to focus them on the positives generally. Like
Yeah,
sometimes when there's like a big box office film, like, I'll, because my opinion isn't going to affect them, like it's not going to affect like the big uh whatever Hollywood film that's coming out. Like that doesn't matter at all, but my opinion might affect a little independent film, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like I would rather support them because I know how hard it is because like I've produced now a couple films and I've been on the back end of that and it's so tough. It's so much work,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have a budget and you're doing it indie, and you
Hmm.
don't have the crew or people are moonlighting. Like a lot of our wonderful, talented friends who are exceptional artists, they like moonlight for us. Like I work with an editor right now, my friend Aaron, and he's such an exceptional editor. But I end up like, working with him all night because he's got, his day job and stuff. So, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, why crap on these artists? I don't get it.
No,
I was actually like on a podcast a little while ago where like halfway through I figured out that the guy didn't even like the movie. And I was like, why are we talking about this movie right now? Like you
yeah. That's
like I
lame.
wouldn't have even gone on it.
Yeah, I never do that. Only thing I will crap on, like you said, the mainstream movies. Like, say for instance, this is the remake of The Crow that came out recently. I can't, I couldn't do it. I watched it and I was like, you got to be kidding me. But there's no passion behind it. It was just, to me, I thought it was made with like Chat GPT or something. Like whoever wrote it, was so
Mm.
bad. But those kind of things,
Yeah, I
I just,
haven't seen it yet,
don't
but
just
I
don't do it
mean,
to yourself.
but I don't know how do you get better than the original, you
You
know?
don't, yeah. And I totally understand we're crapping on that, but like when it comes to independent stuff and stuff with passion, like I hate hearing like shit like that. When I used to review movies and stuff, like I would get a lot of independent stuff, and even if it wasn't that great, I still would not like. I wouldn't write a crappy review about it. I would, give my feedback and be honest, but I'm not gonna like crap on nobody's stuff. That's horrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a different mentality when you're in the indie film world. A lot of people they're putting their real money in. Like Rick and I, we like remortgaged our house, our
Mm,
property to be able to make the film. So like we are so invested in the project because we love it. Like we love horror so much we made a film.
yeah,
And the great thing about like with our film Bloody Bridget, it's like I've gotten because I've been so involved. I've seen every single process and then I've gotten to take it on tour and so I get to see firsthand the audience reaction and everybody like the audience that I've seen it with have loved it. Like they're coming towards me at the end of the film. They're talking about how they love and how it resonates with them, and it's a really inclusive film and I can't wait till we get to release
yeah.
it.
That's gonna be cool. Yeah. Are you gonna do like special edition with like extras and all that stuff too? Like when it does
Yeah,
get released?
I
Yeah.
want to. I want to. I mean, we
Like a
shot the film in
poster.
like 13 days.
Mhm.
So, and I was so over like during that time, I don't think I sat down except for like getting my like makeup done, or getting my
Yeah.
prosthetics on. It was such a whirlwind and so I don't know firsthand how much like behind the scenes stuff we have because I was also in every scene, so I hardly had any downtime. And when I did have downtime, it's like, I'm like mommy on set. I want to make sure my friends are having fun and that everybody's doing well, and
Yeah.
like feel supported and everything. Because a lot we didn't even have time to do like rehearsals. I'm meeting actors, throughout the day and like so hopefully they got to see a nice side of me
Right.
where I'm not like totally disassociating.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully there are. I have to hunt them down,
Cool.
any behind the scenes stuff.
Awesome. Well, Anastasia, this has been awesome as always. I love having you on. And we'll
Yeah.
continue to do these for as long as I'm podcasting, which I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So
Perfect. And I'm excited about this new venture with the video.
yeah.
I think it's going to be so fun for your podcast. I know as a fan myself, I love watching podcasts that have that component with it. And also thank you for having me on again. I
Yeah.
love coming on here and chatting with you. I always feel like it's like hang out with a best friend, and you
Yeah.
are so supportive and thank you for supporting all of my silliness and Rick and just the whole family.
Yeah, it's my
You're a
pleasure.
really great champion for horror and independent horror. And I hope
Well,
you know
Well, I
that.
really appreciate that. And I'm gonna continue on doing that. And yeah, and I'm also the whole video thing. This is interesting and cool. So hopefully I can keep on with this. Like if it wasn't for being on my friend's Rigs of Death Metal podcast, I wouldn't do the whole video thing. So maybe that was the kick in the ass I needed to do video now. So yeah, everything for a
Yeah,
reason.
good.
So
Yeah, I know I've been championing for you in the background. Every time I'm like, are we doing video? Are we doing video?
see, yeah,
So now
it,
we did it.
it worked out. Like, yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday, and hopefully next time we do this, I'll have some cats involved. So we'll see. I'm
Yes,
working on it.
yes. Well, like you've got multiple cats. I just have the one right now.
I just try to
I
juggle all three in my hands.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
have them sitting on like.
Yeah, they can sit on my shoulders. They actually will sit on my shoulders. They're crazy. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
you're so lucky. I haven't tried that with her. But she sits behind me on the couch. So it's kind of like that. I feel like she's a little parrot sometimes, like when I'm working and on the couch and she's like checking in on me.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, you
Love
have
kitty
a,
cats.
me too. You have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll talk again soon.
You too. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.